Welcome back everybody, welcome back to Blaugrana Planet, and today guys we are gonna be previewing La Liga's El Clasico guys. Big game coming up tomorrow, 9 p.m. Spanish time in Santiago Bernabeu versus Football Club Barcelona and Real Madrid will be facing each other in a game that could decide the outcome of La Liga guys. A game that of course Real Madrid will have some advantage there because we're playing in Santiago Bernabeu, but Barcelona are gonna cling on to La Liga, are gonna try to cling on to La Liga, of course having Real Madrid gone through to the semi-finals of the Champions League and Barcelona having the big upset versus Paris Saint-Germain during this last week. So big game guys coming up tomorrow, and this could be the last game, the El Clasico game for Xavi Hernandez with Football Club Barcelona. Of course, Laporta is trying to convince Xavi Hernandez to stay, but it seems that it's certainly not gonna happen. And Laporta was certainly waiting for a move in the Champions League if we were getting into the semi-finals, potentially into the final. Then he was hoping that Xavi Hernandez could change up his mind, but it seems that it's not gonna happen after the upset against Paris Saint-Germain, and Barcelona are certainly now gonna be looking for substitutes, and Rafa Marquez is hot, but we will cover this in another video guys. The big game will be refereed by Sotogrado, which is a kind of neutral referee. It is kind of curious because Real Madrid TV has already been targeting the referee and trying to expose his mistakes against Real Madrid, well, especially in the last El Clasico of last season, where Barcelona won the game, and certainly, apparently, according to Real Madrid TV, Sotogrado had something to do. But anyways, this is all conspiracy theories. Let's get back to the big game. What are gonna be the starting lineups? This is what I predict guys. In terms of Football Club Barcelona, I predict Ter Stegen in goal, Cubarsí, Araujo, Cancelo, Koundé, Frenkie de Jong, Christensen, Gundogan there in the middle, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal on top. Pretty strong lineup. I'd say if it's not the starting lineup that we've seen the usual, well, pretty much it is. The only question I would have is if you can add in maybe Pedri, maybe Joao Felix, maybe Fermin Lopez. Why would I add these players? First of all, Pedri is normally a starter, right? I'm not seeing the best of Pedri's lately after coming in after his injury. He did a very good pass in Parc des Princes for Rafinha to score. I think it was the 1-3 or no, the comeback goal. But anyways, I'm not seeing the best Pedri yet. That's why I think that Xavi would bet on Christensen there to give some more solidity, of course, in the defense. Cancelo with a lot of freedom to go up, and of course Rafinha coming in, Lewandowski playing the some sort of holding position for Rafinha to come in, Gundogan to come in, and of course Lamine Yamal to stick here on the sides with Cancelo coming in, and having three center backs at the back with Christensen covering the right back positions when Lamine Yamal goes up. I think this is most probably gonna be it. I think it's pretty solid. I really like the fact that we have three guys at the back and Christensen here kind of swiping in the middle. This gives us a lot of solidity. We haven't been conceding goals with this lineup, guys. We haven't really been conceding goals. The problem was when you had Cancelo on this side, Cancelo on the right hand side, and you had here, instead of Koundé, you would have what's his name? He got injured. Alejandro Balde. Therefore, you had two attacking fullbacks and only two center backs, and you were playing not Christensen but Pedri here in the middle. Therefore, you had a much weaker positions here. I think that of course having to cover Vinicius, Rodriguez, etc., even Bellingham having this four center backs here in the pitch is certainly going to help. I don't see many changes. Maybe Fermin Lopez coming in instead of Christensen, but I think Fermin Lopez is more of a 70-minute player, because I really like how Fermin Lopez goes in wide. Fermin Lopez pressures a lot, goes in wide, is more of an offensive midfielder. Pedri is more of a control player, right? And of course has a lot of depth with his passing. But Fermin Lopez is kind of a different kind of breed of a player, and maybe we would need to see these kind of players against Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, this is my predicted lineup, which is basically their starting 11, their best starting 11, despite them having a very tough match against Paris Saint-Germain, against Manchester City, which they finally got after the extra time in the penalties. They got the qualifying. They got qualified in the semi-finals. I think that despite them getting very tired, we saw Vinicius, we saw Carvajal, we even saw Bellingham having struggled to walk at the end of the game. Even they having all this extra time being played. I think that certainly in the trainings we have seen quite a good recovery from the players, and I believe that Mr. Carlo Ancelotti will have them ready for the game. So I expect taking into account that it's a very decisive game, because if Real Madrid win this game, certainly it's going to be very hard for Barcelona to win La Liga, and certainly they will have it in the pocket. So they will have the La Liga in the pocket. So I expect the starting 11 here, with of course Bellingham coming in through the middle, Rodrigo, Vinicius, they change up a lot. Valverde more of an offensive midfielder coming in through the side, Camavinga as well, and Toni Kroos more of a swiper, and of course doing a lot of passing, mostly the distribution. In terms of the defense here, Tchouaméni had not played in the game against Manchester City, therefore he's going to be starting. The other option would be Nacho, or of course Militao, but coming in from injury, I don't think Militao is ready for a game of this level. Rudiger with a tremendous season from Rudiger, let me tell you. Maybe the only changes I would see is Lucas Vázquez for Carvajal, maybe because we saw Carvajal really getting cramped and having to be subbed against Man City, a very, very tough game, and Lucas Vázquez could give them a lot of depth here, but certainly they would struggle in defense. Carvajal is doing a tremendous season, guys. So very, very tight, guys. I'll give you my possibilities, my probabilities of who would win by the end of the video, but certainly if Barcelona can win this game, things will change in La Liga, guys. If we look at the table, 8 points distance between each other, and if Barcelona win this game, we would break it down to 5, guys. 5 points. And taking into account that Real Madrid is playing the semi-finals of the Champions League, they will have some tough games at the end of the season as well. They're gonna be putting all the eggs on that basket, and if they try to divide the eggs on La Liga and also on the Champions League, then they're certainly gonna be weaker, right? Even though they have a very good second unit, we cannot deny that. But we need to try our chances, guys, and this is the only chance for us to get a title. It is hard, yes, absolutely. I'd say 95% chances we're not winning La Liga, but I'm clinging to this 5%. If we look at Real Madrid's games, they're playing El Clasico tomorrow, and then on Friday they're playing Real Sociedad to go away, and it's 2 away games here against Bayern Munich. Certainly this game that they play on Friday, I don't see them playing with the starting 11, and taking into account that Real Sociedad is in a needed position. If we look back at the table, Real Sociedad is trying to fight to get into the Europa League and possibly even the Champions League, despite having 8-point difference with Athletic Club de Bilbao. Things can change, guys. They have a game in hand as well, so they're really in a position to fight for the game. And certainly Real Madrid playing on a Friday, having their minds on the game against Bayern Munich. Therefore, it could be a chance for them to drop points. And if we win El Clasico 5 points away from Real Madrid now, they drop, let's say, 2 points here, they get a draw. That's already 3 points away from the first position, from Football Club Barcelona. Coming in, they have Cádiz, they have the second game against Bayern, they have Granada, they have Alavés, Villarreal, Betis. That's the last game for them in La Liga. Not the easiest games, but not the hardest either, for sure. Not the hardest. I'd say Real Sociedad is and Betis are the hardest, and Villarreal is starting to play very, very well lately. Looking at Barcelona, of course, if we win El Clasico, we would have to win everything to put some pressure on Real Madrid. We have Valencia, we have Girona, we have Real Sociedad, Almería, Rayo Vallecano. It's a little harder, guys. It's certainly a little harder, and then Sevilla. Very, very hard schedule. That's why I say that our chances to win La Liga are very, very tiny, guys. Very, very tiny. But if we don't drop any points through all these games, which would be a fantastic end of a season by Xavi Hernandez, then certainly we would have our games, our possibilities higher up. Therefore, looking at the game, guys, tomorrow's game, what will be the expected outcome? What's my opinion in the expected outcome? Well, this is it, guys. I give Real Madrid the favorite position here because they play at home. They're coming in with a good momentum. They have a motivational boost after their qualifying position, even though they played a tremendous, tiring game versus Manchester City. 25% chances for the draw. I think they're pretty even. All the possibilities, of course. When you play a game of this level, then it's very, very difficult to give a favorite. But taking into account that Barcelona is not in the best motivational moment, Real Madrid is completely the opposite, despite being tired and playing at home as well. I give them the favorites, but only by 5%. And taking into account the draw could also be a favorite because it's just there, 25% for the draw. Therefore, let me know, guys, in the comments down below what you guys think. Let's do a quick Q&A as always. Let me drop the comments here on the screen. I always love to interact with you guys. You guys are amazing, and I know it's been tough. It's been tough. I see Walid, I see F2 Junior, I see Aliu Alabi, I see Samuel Donowells. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Echwa John, my G, says, I just want to see the players' mentality after that disappointing midweek game. Well, you know, I really hope, guys, that the players kind of forget about it. Forget about the PSG game and they just go all in for the Real Madrid game. It's the only chance for us to get a title, man. Come on, man. Come on, it's the moment. I'm already changing the chip. I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna be angry at this game. Really, I'm gonna be angry. Raul Sarfares says 2-0 for Real Madrid. Aliu says 2-2. Well, I think a draw is a very good possibility because Real Madrid are certainly not gonna take many risks. Taking into account they have a couple difficult games upcoming, Real Sociedad and Bayern Munich. And imagine they get an injury. They get an injury Rodrigo. They get an injury on Vinicius. But it's El Clasico. You need to play it hard. You certainly need to play it hard. Khalid says Lewa has to leave. Well, Lewa is certainly not having the best momentum. His age is certainly dragging him down, I would say. And what I'm expecting is Barcelona to try to cash in on Lewandowski. Walid says, Alex, we're missing Xavi so much on the field. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. Xavi was the spirit of this team. Xavi was the heart of this team. Xavi was the main pressure of this team. And the fact that we lost Xavi for so long has certainly put us in a bad situation. Also, guys, the fact that we lost Ter Stegen for a long time, And even though I like Iñaki Peña, he's not on the level. I like the guy. He's a cool guy, he's personality-wise, but man, in terms of the level versus Ter Stegen, you can't compare. But also the fact that we've been playing now with 3 center backs in the defense, Koundé, Araujo, Cubarsí, without what's his name, Balde. That really helped as well. I see a donation by Slavash, thank you so much. He says, by how much do we have to win to have an advantage head-to-head? I have a feeling it will be a big game on the other way or the other. Well, we would have to look at the table, right? The goal difference is abysmal, let me tell you. We have conceded a good amount of goals versus Real Madrid. If we look at the table, They've only conceded 20 goals, guys. Only conceded 20 goals. We conceded 34. They even scored more goals than us. The goal difference is 47 to 28. Therefore, it's very hard. 19 goal difference between each other. Therefore, anyways, I wouldn't count on the goal difference for sure. Anyways, guys, I'll leave it up for today. Make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And now, as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video.